Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the weekly kickoff. All right, now the markets. Mark Carney wins the Canadian election to replace Trudeau. Okay, former central banker takes over the government. He's got his hands full trying to work out a deal with Trump, that's for sure. Now, the dollar, US dollar itself, is starting to slide a little bit lower, and there's a lot of conjecture around what these tariffs that Trump is dishing out, what impact they're going to have on the US, right? And the Donald, he's been asked this quite a lot has said, I don't know if it's going to cause a recession, right? It's a bit too early to say that. But that's sort of where we are. So the dollar is the main theme here that you have to understand is the dollar is sliding to the downside, right? Dollar index, euro going up, sterling going up, dollar Swiss down, and dollar yen down. Now, this is further aided by the market's buying Swiss and yen, right? The rush to the safe havens is on, right? And that's going to keep pushing dollar Swiss and dollar yen down. You've got a situation here where we've got the commodity currencies, right? Dollar CAD, Aussie, and Kiwi, right? They just don't know whether to go up or down on this dollar weakness, right? They're sort of caught up in the whole issue with regards China, the big tariffs. It's going to impact those commodity currencies probably more than anywhere else. So the dollar sliding lower. Now, outside of the tariffs, to me, the real sort of data here is, and just check out how much weaker, right, the non-farm payrolls data was. So the unemployment rate, 4.1%, right, on the high side, okay, 3.9 to 4.1, the range. And the actual number there on the non-farms themselves, only 9,000 out, right? But it's enough for the market to go, you know what, that's not good enough. And the dollar was already going down. So that's where we are. Okay. So not much else in that. The average earnings a little bit better. I wouldn't sort of worry about that too much. The key theme is you just follow the theme, right? And the theme is we've got a weaker dollar. So anything that's as expected or slightly weaker will have an impact. All right. Now, as we plan for the week ahead, right, let's just have a look here. The main, there's only one central bank really that's having a release, and that's expected to be a 0.25 cut from the Bank of Canada, right? So we'll see how that goes. That's what's factored in at this stage. 80% chance of that. I can't see that being turned around. If you have a look at the global markets themselves, okay, you've got treasuries a little bit lower, right? A little bit weaker dollar. Okay. And we're not seeing like a big, strong up move in the US equities, right? You would usually see that. So the equity markets, well, they're not going up. If anything, they're probably going down as well with the yields. And that has put a little bit of confusion through the ranks of the currencies, right? It's like, hang on, weaker US yields, weaker equities. This is like markets back in the day, right? They never were so connected as they are now. But this is where the market is a little bit caught up, right? They've caught up in all these positions. Now, if I just get up the live trade hub, let me just show you what I'm sort of focusing on. Now, this week, the live sessions, okay, starting with a Q&A on all things trading. This is your chance to ask myself some key questions about anything about trading, whether it's your technical analysis, the economic numbers, execution, anything that comes up, whether it's on the courses or not, we'll run through that. You can click on that join button there and get access to that meeting. I'll run you through. We're also covering the US CPI numbers, but that's in a couple of days. Currencies in the zone at the moment. For me, the two key currencies, dollar yen and dollar Swiss, right? You've got to be looking to get short these two pairs. They are going down. You've got the weak dollar prospect as well as the safe haven sort of in the background there as well. So they're selling dollars, but they're buying yen and Swiss. It's like a double whammy, right? So to me, unless something really weird changes, these two should still sort of glide to the downside. Now, it's not going to be like dramatic just collapse, right? It doesn't work like that. So just be aware. You got to wait for the prime time levels to get short, and that's what I would be suggesting. Now, the next major live trading session is going to be on Wednesday. US CPI numbers, right? Month on month, year on year. Year on year for me is the key number. That's what the central bank is still really focusing on. The good thing is we're getting a really tight range now for the data. Okay, it's really narrowed in 2.8 to 3%, 2.9 expected. And as it gets closer to the date, I will be updating what the best setups are for a weaker number or a stronger number, right? Try and make it as easy as possible for you. Prime time analysis, we are very close to having this fully automated, hopefully this week. At the moment, this is where like how you see that imbalance between the US equities and the US Treasury yields, right? We've got Euro Sterling, right, going up, and then you've got Aussie and Kiwi sort of fundamentally going down. Now, these two groups here sort of correlate 90% of the time. So something's amiss here, right? Either Aussie and Kiwi are going to go up, or Euro and Sterling have got to go down, or they don't go anywhere, right? So that's something it's a bit of a head twist because you're like, what? I don't see how's Euro and Sterling going up, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, Aussie and Kiwi and CAD, as I mentioned, are caught up in the China tariffs, regardless of if they want to be or not. In particular, Aussie and Kiwi, probably more so than Canada, right? Canada have got their own hands full with the US tariffs, and then you got the dollar index sort of really confused with what it's doing. And this is why I'm sort of coming back and going, you know what? The easiest trades here, or the two easiest instruments to identify direction is dollar Swiss and dollar yen. You just got to wait for the timing. So at the start of the week, obviously the US CPI is the key number, but focus on the instruments that do have easy direction, because if the numbers come out, you know, and support that direction, it's an easy trade, right? The market will gladly add to their positions and get on board there. Now, as I mentioned already, Q&A on all things trading. Tuesday, 7 p.m. New York. US inflation rate, 8 a.m. New York on the Wednesday, right? So, and US CPI, right? It comes at a really good time because if those inflation numbers come out weak, we've already got a weaker dollar. I tell you what, it's a little bit dreamy. And what I say by that is it's like dreamboat. Like you can't get a better scenario. Already have the dollar going down, get some weak inflation numbers on top. They're talking about potential recessions in the US again. You know, a bit of a storm in a teacup from the media outlets, but that's what they do, right? They try and beat up a story until there's nothing to talk about. But that's where we are with that. 10-week challenge. This page will be just getting updated as well. We're going to have it fully automated. This will be coming online this week, right? So the 10-week challenge, I just got caught up, you know, most of last week in a tropical cyclone. So that was a real nuisance because, you know what, it's just put back the schedule here for the 10-week challenge, but it's still on, right? This is going to be a huge focus for a lot of traders. I'm going to have some details up. There's a lot of components and a lot of new tech involved. So there will be a notional fee for that. And you know what? This isn't meant to be for everyone. This is meant to be for those traders who really want to put a bee under their bonnet, get busy, get out of their comfort zone, and really get down and dirty, right? And what we're talking about is taking money out of the market, identify opportunities where there may only be 20 points. Yeah, but we'll take that. We'll take that 30, and there's 50, you know, and really being able to sort of work with what's happening in the market with your trade plan and the discipline. And it's really going to shake things down. If you're looking for a trading transformation, this 10-week challenge, I tell you what, it's going to extremely reinvigorate my trading and get me focused because I want to show you guys that I can knock it out of the park. And it really comes down to trading conditions, right? And if we've got conditions like we are seeing at the moment, okay, with the Dawn and all this other stuff, there are trades here, right? Even if I'm using Primetime Pro, I'm going to be looking to get into the market here on these rallies, right? So that's something to be looking for. And those trades will just happen through the course of the week. On top of that, we have some key numbers coming out. And that's where you want to sort of raise your attention and focus on, like, say, the US CPI numbers, right? This is a really good week of economic data. Okay, you've got the US numbers here Wednesday. That's all the new services we'll probably start talking about from now till Wednesday. But then we've got, you got some industrial production numbers. the regular numbers out of like the jobless claims, all sorts of stuff, a whole bunch of UK manufacturing output, GDP estimates, wholesale trade and manufacturing sales in Canada. Lots to play for, right? And the good thing is we do have the clear direction at the moment. I can't see it changing at this point. And the good thing is, if you look over at your long-term charts, we are starting to see these things break down. Like dollar yen's already broken down. It's heading to 130 over the course of the next, say, 3 months. It's a matter of getting the timing right for that trade. The hardest trades for me, dollar CAD, Aussie, and Kiwi, because they're caught up with the whole China Swiss thing. But look at Euro and Sterling. They are cruising topside. Now, that doesn't mean we don't trade Aussie and Kiwi. Of course, we can, depending on the numbers. But if they start to get a little bit of a rock on through that bull bear pivot line, then they will play catch up, right? That's what I'll be looking for as well. Dollar CAD, new prime minister, massive tariffs to deal with, Trump, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a tricky one. And you've also got oil falling there as well. So I can't see, you know, I can't see any sort of real clear opportunities on the dollar CAD at this point. So that's it, guys. We've got a big week coming up. I'll be giving you some more details for those traders who are looking to get into that 10-week challenge. It is going to be a lot more personal than the sort of day-to-day activities that we do. But I think if you're looking for the edge, that's something to think about. One other thing, I was just looking through the news there before. There's some interesting pieces here. Trump, he sort of mentioned this, and he's the only head of government really that's really pulled up China. China forever have every time it gets tricky for them, they just reduce the currency value, right? It keeps them selling their crap to everyone else globally. And what I'm talking about is most of the stuff that my kids get, it's rubbish, breaks very quickly, and it's all from China. But so if they keep lowering their currency values, the yen of Japan have been caught up in this, but they've never, well, I wouldn't say never, but they haven't been manipulating their currency. Their currency is just super weak, right? But China, if they keep lowering their currency to keep them competitive globally, well, you can expect bigger tariffs, and it's really going to come down to a bit of a like a shootout, really. Anyway, that's where we are. Just try and Mondays, get yourself abreast of what's going on globally, right? Let these stories come through. You know, Mondays for me, as most of you would know, are generally a day off. Where it's a good day to do your analysis, get everything sort of squared away, have a look what's coming out. You know, like just get tuned up, right? Start to feel the markets. By Tuesday, we should start feeling the connection. Wednesdays, we're game on. And this week, we got the US CPI numbers. So hang in tight for that. And don't forget, if you want to join those live sessions, just click on the live session area there and you'll be able to join the live trading session. All right, guys, that's it from me. Have a good week. I'm glad to be back online. I'm pumped about the 10-week challenge. If you need any more details, jump on the Discord. I'll be happy to answer your questions. And that's it. Good luck this week. Cheerio.